write a villain. Now, villains are the core of most stories. Now, every story needs a generic villain. But if yours does have one, they need to be distinct. They need a personality that can match that wickedness. And a good example is Light Yagami from Death Note. While he is the protagonist of Death Note, he is ultimately the main antagonist of Death Note. What makes him compelling as a villain is how cold and calculated he was, but also extremely narcissistic, prideful, and emotional like a freaking child.
Is something wrong? You look kind of...
Misa, just shut up and do what I told you, alright?
Light was highly intelligent and able to manipulate some of the smartest people in his story. But his pride in that intelligence made him mess up numerous times in the story.
What's wrong? You got nothing else to say?
I had to test this just in case, but I never thought it would actually happen. Kira, it seems you can kill people without having to be there in person.
He quickly disposed of any threats to his plan, which was smart, but backfired at times and showed how trigger happy he was with Death Note.
I'll be the one to do it.
Please stop, Dad! I'm not Kira!
However, because this man was so paranoid, he was able to stay a step ahead of L in the police force every time he was this close to being captured.
It sit horizontally, I lower it by about 5 millimeters. When I get home and I try to open the door, if the handle is all the way up, I can be fairly certain that someone was in my room.
For your villain, you want to combine these contradictory personality traits to make them complex like Light Yagami. You want your villain to be menacing, you want them to be dangerous, but not unbeatable, unrelatable. That's boring. We want to explore an enigma of a person that's interesting and unique, not some god that takes plot to beat them. We love Light Yagami as a villain, not because of the Death Note, not because of the people he kills and manipulates, but for being able to play one of the most epic cat and mouse serial killer games in anime and manga, and for being one of the most entertaining antagonists in anime and manga.